welcome to my channel. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Fall is finally here. However, I'm here to talk about upcoming US elections and the foreign meddling that's happening right here on US-based platforms. In the past months, there's been a lot of discussion, including offering a high quantity for outing someone who is actually involved in such operations or the entities involved. In the past, it was mostly focused on Russia because Russia has been known for cyber espionage, cyber activities, etc., cyber warfare. There was a Russian troll farm, which possibly even operational still out of St. Petersburg, that was ran by Prigozhin, who is known as Putin's cook, and they have been, well, he's under sanctions. There's other issues going on there as well. But now China has been in the focus of that too. Outside of coronavirus pandemic that originated from China and everything else, the election meddling is very real, and it occurs on US platforms. And I will talk today exclusively about specifically what I noticed and something that should be looked at. Everybody possibly heard of different platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and everybody knows, such as LinkedIn, which is more professional networking. LinkedIn had influx. Facebook said they'll do more, including with Mark Zuckerberg, in regards to combat such activities. Twitter added reporting where you can say someone is trying to interfere in U.S. election. Well, it doesn't say exactly interfere with U.S. election, but trying to provide information which is actually false in order to have some type of influence of the election. But let's look at a very different side. There's a site called Quora, which is a very big site. It's a popular question and answer site. That's how it positions. It's headquartered out of Montview, California. It's all American, supposed to be company. Their platform, basically the way it runs, anybody can post any type of questions and other people provide answers. There's also advertisement revenues. There's also spaces where you can write somewhat of an articles there. You could also promote different products, but then again, you cannot really spam, but overall it's mostly question and answer site. And it's very popular by Chinese. And to let you know, the reach of Quora site is in billions of dollars. And there's tons of users, and they have a large market share and segment within what they do. But there comes a very serious problem that I personally encountered last week, and I looked at it closely. One of the moderations team for Quora for US topics that are unfavorable to China or Russia, they remove the links and moderate it, and it actually appears in your feed saying that CGTN fan team edited your post. What is CGTN? CGTN, formerly known as CCTV9 and CCTV News, is an international English language channel based in Beijing, owned by China. So basically it's a state-owned broadcaster, which, propaganda, news, etc., approved by China. Why are they on American site editing English links to any type of postings pertaining that are unfavorable to Russia and China, and including even Belarusian politics when it has to do with dealings with Russia or anything of that nature? If you're speaking unfavorably about Putin, but more than welcome to speak unfavorably when it comes to Joe Biden. This became a very odd trajectory. It happened to me twice with my articles when I posted a link to them. One of them was pertaining Putin and Belarus and how he's making a deal to make it a union. Another one was pertaining similar topic but Russia and Trump and Putin dealings, so to speak. That link was removed as well, and it actually showed it was actually edited by China nevertheless. So how does Chinese government have access to Quora? Please tell me how many more of these they're doing trying to influence people's mind. And one thing about Quora, which has to be imperative, there's a lot of young people on it. There's a lot of high school students, college students, because it's question and answer site, so it's something similar to Reddit, a little different of course, and has a better platform. But nevertheless, that means young minds are being shaped by China on American Post and on Canadian Post for Canadian, because I'm a Canadian national. So I'm just saying, and this happening, even last week it's occurring. Why is Quora allowing such to happen? If it is based out of California and positions themselves American, are they not responsible for not having such activities? If you're allowing Chinese government to edit and monitor people posting, and then the question remains, what else does Chinese government see? Because to register an account, you have to provide your email address, you have to provide verifications. I mean, nothing to do with IDs, but nevertheless, how much access does China have to American and Canadian users on this site. What is even more, I noticed too, since I told you you post a question, people give you answers, etc. pertaining to the topic. I've noticed also that Chinese nationals specifically post questions that Chinese government is actually answering under CGTN, specifically providing answers how wonderful China is and how they're misunderstood and how US is at wrong and everything like that. Last week alone, I've seen over 20 examples of such activity. It concerns me because being in the West and respecting the national identity and respecting the election, and people who should be voting in elections should be the citizens of the country. There shouldn't be foreign governments influencing anybody voting choices. Doesn't matter if it's Canada or US. It does not matter. It still has to be the citizens of the country. Foreign governments openly influencing this, and now the upcoming election in November, in US especially, this has been just a week ago, and this has been continued. We're going another month and there's US election. How many of these Chinese posts are actually out there on Quora? How many of them actually provided misinformation to change people how they're gonna vote and for their favorable candidate? And how do we not know this has not been going on for the past 4 years? I just discovered it last week myself. And I wanted to put it out there, and I would love for people to pay close attention. Pay close attention who the posts are from, the responses. CGTN is Chinese government television and news network. So if somebody edits your post and you see that, or they're posting under your links, that would mean that that's Chinese government interfering in the Western delivery of news, delivery of information that could be crucial. Because some people are still undecided voters, and there's some people who are not exactly sure yet who they're gonna vote for. But with such posts and editing links and either discouraging people from getting information, and under democracy we have free choice of what information we get, or actually influencing the information, which is social engineering propaganda. Could it be certain people already turned voting a certain way based on what CGTN just did last week on Quora? How many people? The stats are unknown. So I would love to hear everybody's opinions on that. Please click like, please subscribe to my channel, and you can also read my articles under Kristina Kitova at communalnews.com. Thank you and have a great day, everybody.